This company thought their website was secure, and within few minutes, I found vulnerabilities that could actually be used to take over the entire system, the entire website. No hacking skills required for this, no exploitation, no 0 day, nothing, just misconfiguration. And in this video, I'm going to show you everything I found. Get your popcorn, get your jotting notes. Let's get into it. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Femi Atkinson. I'm a cyber threat historian. I'm an ethical hacker. I'm the founder of SIS. If you're new around here, we create cybersecurity content to keep you safe, to educate you, to guide you on your cybersecurity journey, to serve you, give you cybersecurity services, right? So if you're new around here, press the subscribe button, hit the like button. So if you're here for cybersecurity videos, if you're here for entertainment, if you're here from infotainment, where I inform you and then I give you a little bit of my personality, you're in the right place. So with that, let's get back into the video. And yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Yeah, I ran a security assessment for this particular company. Let's name the company ABC Tech for the sake of this video, because you don't expect me naming the company to you. So you go poking around the website to check if the vulnerabilities are fixed. No, we ain't going to do that. We ain't going to do that. Yeah, for security purposes. Now, the website was top notch. It was very responsive. The coloring was top notch. UI, user interface, UI, UX, user interface, and user experience was actually top notch. But then, just the way a lady makes like makeover, like pancakes and like their makeups, females makeup, it doesn't mean the lady is going to be pretty when she cleans that makeup. I'm already divulging. So yeah, you can wear a makeup, but it doesn't remove the fact that you might be ugly beneath. And this was the case of the website. Yeah, it was very pretty on the surface, but then beneath it had security misconfigurations that could actually be exploited by threat actors, or which I fixed or found and then gave it to the owner to get it fixed. Do you understand? So that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. I'm not digging ladies. Don't come at me with that. So yeah, the very first vulnerability I found was the cPanel page being opened. Like it has like a URL that can be reached by anybody. And why is this dangerous? Firstly, let's get to understand what the cPanel is. I think on the X video, on the Twitter video, I made mention of a kid that asked Twitter, got the credentials to log in into the admin dashboard. That's something like the cPanel, right? Whereby when you have control over the cPanel, you can actually control the whole website. You can add files, delete files, edit the website, add users, delete users, act as users. Like you are a god on that particular software as soon as you have the login into the cPanel, which is like the admin dashboard. So the cPanel was actually out in the open, which is very bad. The threat actor could actually like brute force it the way I'd have the image of I would have the image of a cPanel login page here. Abacadabra. So yeah, something like this, they can try to brute force it, try to guess the password, be intruder on Bob Suite. And then if they get the password, boom, like it's game over. They have control over everything on the website. They can remove users, edit passwords. Even the password to the cPanel can be edited. Do you understand? Like a lot of things could be done. So we're able to like remediate this, get the cPanel off the clear web, put it behind the things you could do, you put it behind the Cloudflare Zero Trust. But what we did was making sure only the IP address of the owner of the website was able to like connect to that page, connect to that login panel, or access the URL, something like that. So that was what we went for. So if you have a website, you need to know where your cPanel's URL could be gotten from or could be reached, where it could be reached, where it could get to. You need to know because it is actually very stressful when you create a website and then you are now having to think about the placement of your cPanel URL. And all I understand that. But if you don't want to lose your website to a threat actor, man, take a day off to get it sorted. So that was the first vulnerability. Let's move on to the second vulnerability that I found while performing the security assessment. So the second vulnerability we found on the website was actually that the email on the website could actually get spoofed. What do I mean? When an attacker gets your website configuration is not done properly, an attacker could actually use it to send emails to people, and then they think it is from you. Okay, it is a three-party thing. There's you, the business, there's the attacker, and there's me, the consumer. This guy who's the attacker could actually spoof the business's email, which is the authentic one, and send me an email. I see it, I think, oh, it is from this guy. Meanwhile, it belongs to this guy, and then I just fully commit because I think I'm going with this guy. And this basically, I don't know if you really get that, but that's what we call email spoofing. And this was actually present on this particular website. We're able to remediate and then change. You know the funny thing? Just a little character, maybe a dash, where a dash is meant to be, an iPhone was there instead. Something as little as that could actually cause your website to be susceptible to cause your the emails on your website to be susceptible to email spoofing. And that was the case that we one of the case that we found with the email poor configuration, and then we're able to remediate and help the business get that secured, which is one of the things we do at SIS. We help businesses assess their security posture and do a little bit of um, non-exploitative security testing. When I say non-exploitative security testing, I simply mean that we are going to help you check your website for vulnerabilities even while the website is still being in use by your users. It doesn't affect them because we are not exploiting, we're just checking and then giving you a report on how it can be remediated in terms of priorities, right? So now let's get into the third um, vulnerability we found. So now for the third vulnerability, I want you to imagine the domain. What's a domain? The domain is like google.com, livescores.com. Like that is what a domain is, the name of a website, right? Imagine google.com expired and I bought it. So there's this thing that happens when you buy a domain and then someone wants to use that domain, and maybe you just bought it for the sake of buying it. The person that wants to use it can actually reach out to you and then tell you, I want to use this particular domain. How much would you love to sell it? Right? I've seen domains that are actually going for as much as $50,000. Maybe I should just make a career out of that. I'll just go and think of names and just buy them, stack them up, $5. That's how much they sell domains, $5, $10. Buy them, stack them up, and just wait for someone to come. I need one of them, make 50K or 30K or any amount you can agree with the person. So we saw that the particular website's domain was going to get expired in like a couple of, I think, days as at the time, and which is very, very bad for business, being that a an external person can actually see when your domain would get expired, right? A normal person that just knows his or her way around Kali Linux and actually just scan your domain to know when it's going to get expired and wait for the day. As soon as it gets expired, the person goes on, buy it, and waits for you to come and ask him that, please, you bought my domain, please. And then the person makes like times 10 or times 3 of their any amount, because the person calls a shot at the point. So we saw that, and then we were able to add it to the report that he needed, or the business needed, to get the domain sorted as soon as it was getting expired to avoid stories that touch. Have you had a domain expire before? I've had a couple though. So these vulnerabilities that we've been able to talk about are just like the basics, they're like the barest minimum, right? And there are things that an attacker could actually use to pivot and scale up and get control of the entire website, right? um if you would want to see something like when this particular vulnerabilities we looked at were used to get control of an entire system, you need to go and check out the video that I made about how Twitter X was being hacked, and which was like the first vulnerability with the page. And go and check it, I'll put it somewhere here. or in the comments. I don't know, YouTube stuff, but I'll put it somewhere there so you can find your way to the video. Now, if you have a business, if you have a company, if you own a website, right, you need to actually check the security aspect. There's something in cybersecurity we call the CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Now, let me break it down to you. Confidentiality, um the details of your users, the informations of your users should not be leaked, shouldn't be exposed. If not, you are going against a particular law, a said law rather. Integrity, nobody should be accessing the nobody without authority should be accessing the data of your users. And availability, your website should always be available. Now, these three things, if gone against, your website could actually, or your service could actually be less trusted to people, right? So you can reach out to us as SIS. Reach out to us. Why am I slurring? You can reach out to us at SIS to help you get this checked out and sorted so you don't get to lose customers. Now imagine for a fact someone came to your website and at that particular time your website was down, it wasn't available. One person. Now imagine how many people could have come at that particular time. Maybe your website was hacked, or it's collected too much requests and it couldn't handle it and then it crashed or something. Like, a lot of things could happen. That particular time you would have lost a lot of people, and as at that time the particular person looking, or the people looking for that service, could spring out to other competitors of yours to get the service, and then thereby forgetting your website or your application ever existed, right? So check SIS for this security checklist to be done, and then I'm very sure you wouldn't regret it. So with this, I think we've come to the end of the video. Remember, because it is safe doesn't mean it is secure. Because your website looks cute, it doesn't mean it is secure under the hood, right? Do a security testing or vulnerability assessment today. Reach out to us, send drop a comment or send a DM. So I'm going to include the avenues where you can reach us from to help with your security assessment, and we would love to do that. Yeah, we've come to the end of the video. I think I've said what is secure. Have a good one, guys. Bye bye.